what I have done, so I have created a new project. Okay, new project. After creating a new project, I have placed that new project in the folder L2 lab2, and I have created a new file with the name l2.asm. Okay, so after creating this, so you need to start writing your code. So what is the first line here? What is the first line of your code? So first you need to give one space, one tab space. Okay. After that, you need to start writing your code. So what is the first line? The first line is we need to specify the area. So where exactly this program should be present. Right. So I'm writing it as a area. Okay. Area followed by the program name. So what is the second program? So I'll tell what is the second program. So what is the lab 2? So this is your syllabus. I already uploaded it in Google Classroom. You can refer. So this we have done. Write a program to multiply two 16-bit binary numbers. This we have done. So for today's lab, we are executing this. So what is the second program? So write a program to find the sum of first 10 integer numbers. So we are going to find the sum of first 10 integers. Okay, and display what is the and see what is the sum. Okay, this is your second program. So I'm copying it. So how to give a comment in the Asam this Keel software? How to give comments? So you
Semicolon.
should semicolon. So that will be treated as a comment. Okay. So just for your reference, so I pasted this. So area. So followed by the name of the lab. This program. So what is the name? So I will give this since it is addition. Okay. So I'm giving it as addition. So it's a variable name. So you can give any name. So this is the name I have given. And what is this? What we are writing in this particular area? We are writing code. It is not a data section. So that's why we are specifying code. And this memory should be whenever we are during the execution, this memory should be read only. We cannot write. Okay. So that's why I'm writing it as a read only. And up here, is it fine? So what is the next line? Next line is entry. So whatever the memory we have defined, okay. So this is the memory we have defined addition. So we are entering into that particular memory. So once we are entered, we should start executing. So that's why I will specify the label as start. We'll start the execution from here. So label, you no need to give any space. So we can view directly. And how to end the program? How to end the program? So stop. This is branch instruction and stop. So after this, I will end this area. So that's why I'm just saying end. So this is the syntax. Also, this will be syntax. So here we need to write the instructions for to execute this particular program. So what we will do, we will add the integer numbers from 1 to 10. Okay, so 1 to 10 we will add, and we'll see what is the result. So for that particular purpose, I'm saving the last number, that is 10. So I have to do the addition up to 10 numbers. So that's why I'm taking it as I'm moving the value 10 to the register R0. Fine. And then next. So since they have asked to find the sum of first 10 integers, so I need to decrement this value up to it becomes 10 values. So I'm taking it as a largest number, that is 10, and I'm decrementing this value. So where shall I decrement? I will decrement in one register. So that's why I will copy this value to this value to another register. So that's why I'm writing it as move R1 comma R0. Fine. Why I'm moving this? Because I need to add the addition for 10 numbers. So I have put the largest number in the R0, and each iteration I'm going to reduce this R0 value. So that's why I have taken one temporary register 10 R1. So in this R1, I'm keep on decrementing the value 1. Okay. So how to decrement the value? So we need to use a subtraction instruction. Okay, what is that subtraction instruction? SUB. Okay, this is the subtraction instruction. So what it will do, it will subtract the content of R1 with the value 1. So what do you mean by this symbol? Some hash symbol indicates it is a immediate addressing mode. So whatever the value I'm having, so this content will be taken and it will be subtracted with the content of R1, and result is put into R1. Okay, so what will be the content now after executing this instruction? Content of R1. Yeah, answer. What is the content of R1 here after
9.
executing? Yeah, 9. It will be 9 because the value will be 10 here. I'm moving 10 to the R1, and I'm in this instruction I'm subtracting 1. So the value of R1 will be 9. Correct. Next. So after subtracting, I will check whether the R1 value becomes 0. Why 0 means? And each time I'm subtracting one value, so I need to select only 10 integers. So what are the 10 integers? It will come 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So these numbers I need to add. So the last, once it reaches to 0, I should stop this addition. Correct. So that's why I will compare what is the content of R1 with hash 0. Fine. Any doubt here? Why I'm comparing here? Everyone got why I'm comparing R1 with a 0? So this is the compare instruction. So what it will do? It will subtract R1 with the value 0 and compare. Yeah, it will compare bit by bit value of R1 with the bit by bit value of this 0. So if it is same, then you will get equal. So corresponding flag will be set. Otherwise, the corresponding flag will not be set. Correct. So what are the flags you have studied in your class, in the last class? yesterday class explained, no, different flags. Can anyone tell what are the flags we have studied? Yeah, these are the flags that I will be on PPT. See, whenever I'm taking okay, that's one we can refer. So where are the flags? What are the flags here? Hey, someone please answer. Don't be idle.
Zero, overflow, negative, and carry.
These are the flags. So when we can update this value, so whenever we do some arithmetic ALU operations, right? So that time this value will be updated. So I have explained what are these. Yeah. So Q is with respect to DSP instruction set. So it tells you whether the value is reached its saturation point or it is an overflow. And similarly, we have small o, small v, so it indicates signed overflow. So this is with respect to only DSP instruction. So this is with respect to ARM and 16-bit thumb instruction. Okay, signed overflow, and this C corresponds to a carry bit. Okay, and it is with respect to the unsigned value. Okay, if it is with respect to the unsigned value. If there is any carry, so this C bit will be set. And next is Z. So Z indicates 0. The result is 0. So whenever say, yeah, we are subtracting here, right? So here we are subtracting R1 with hash value 1. If the result is 0, then this corresponding flag bit will be set to 1. So if the result is 0, so when it will be updated, I have to specify here a character that is yes. So subtract yes. If I specify this, then if the result is 0, then that particular flag bit will be set to 1. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Okay. So if we don't specify yes here, then that particular flag will not be set. Only if I specify yes here, then only the corresponding flag value will be set if this result value is 0. Fine. Okay. So that is the another flag. And what is this n indicates? It is a negative. So if the value, if I uh, say if I'm comparing this R1 with some value, and also how the sorry, yeah, I'm subtracting the value R1 with some value. If the result is negative, then this corresponding flag will be set. Okay, so these are the flags are used in the microcontroller. Okay, so what we done here so far? So I have moved the highest value to some register, and I'm making a copy of that highest value, and each I'm subtracting that highest value to the highest value with 1, because I need to add 10 more values. integers, so that's why I'm subtracting 1, and I'm comparing whether it has reached the value 0, because I need to add only 10 integers. So if I take 10 first in 10 integers, then I need to add from 10 to 1 to 10. I should not add the negative numbers 0 and negative numbers. So that's why I should stop here at 0. So that's why I'm writing it as compare r1 hash 0. Okay, if it is equal, so what do you mean by equal? So I'm checking. So this is a conditional instruction. Okay, this is a conditional instruction. So in the last class I have told you what is a conditional instruction. So based on the flag values, some instructions are executed. So what is this? What is this EQ? EQ stands for conditional instruction. So EQ means equal. If two if the value of a flag is equal to 0, which flag? I'm talking about Z flag here. Okay, so if a Z value of the Z is set, okay, so what the capital Z indicates? It is 1. Okay, small z indicates it is a 0. Okay, so I'm checking whether, yeah, I'm checking whether EQ, it means that whether Z is 1. If Z is 1, it means that the R1 has reached the value R0. Okay, R1 has reached the R0 value. So that time I should stop the execution. So that's why I'm writing it as a stop. What do you mean by stop? So it is a label. So the execution will go at the next instruction label. So I'm coming here. Fine. Understood up to here what I'm doing?
Sir, here stop is the label name.
Yeah, it is a label. So it
Then
means that
EQ is
EQ is a conditional instruction. EQ is conditional instruction. So this instruction is executed only if the value of Z flag is 1. Conditional, it is a conditional instruction. So here you got what I'm saying. What is the EQ? EQ is a conditional
yes.
instruction. So this, yeah, this instruction is executed only if the Z flag is set to 1. So if Z flag is set to 1, then it will go to the stop. Otherwise, it will be ignored. This particular instruction will not be executed. It is like the if-else statement in C. If condition,
Yes,
then
sir.
execute. Correct? Okay. So that is EQ. So I need the EQ is just what just to check whether that particular flag is set or not. So I need to branch to this particular label. So that's why I need to write branch instruction. So that is B. So B EQ. It means branch is equal to where stop. It means that. So branch to the stop if it is equal. B used for branching. Okay, specifying like where you need to go. Fine. Up to here,
Yes,
understood?
sir.
Okay. So it means that if this is true, it means that the value of R1 is 0. But since the value of R1 in for the first iteration, it will be 9. Correct. If it is not equal, what I should do? I should do sum of numbers. So first, in the first iteration, I'm adding 10 plus 9. So how to add two values? So what instruction I should use?
Add.
Yes, add. Which all register I need to add? I need to add R0 because it contains the number 10, and I need to add 9. Correct. So R0, comma R1. So where result will be stored here? Result will be
R0.
stored in the
Or
R0
not.
register.
Or not.
Yes, yes, correct. Okay, yes. So I am adding 10 and 9. So what is the next iteration? Next iteration should be, I should add the eighth number also. 8, 9, 10. So already 9 and 10 and 9 are added. So I should add 8. So how should I do now? So I should go to the this particular statement, correct? So that's why I'm writing it as b not equal to, not equal to. So b is for branching. Okay, what is this ne? Ne is for not equal to instruction. Again, what is this? It is a conditional instruction. So you can see here ne is a conditional instruction. So if z is set to 0, then only this particular instruction will be executed. Otherwise, it will be ignored. Okay. So if it is not equal to 0, I need to go here. So for going here, I should have some label, right? So that's why I am writing it as a label for this instruction add in. Okay, I'm writing a label. So if z value is small 0, means 0, I should go to this particular label. So which particular label? Add in. Right? So again, I will come here. So again, I'm subtracting the content of R1 with the value 1. So what is the content of R1?
9.
In the second iteration.
9.
In the second
After
iteration,
it will
yes,
become 8.
9. Yes,
After
yeah.
subtracting
After
8.
subtracting, it will become 8. So again, I will compare R1 with 0. No, it is not equal. So it will not go to this particular label. So it will ignore this statement because Z is not set to 1. Then I will again add. So what is the content of R0 now? What is the content of R0?
It will be 19. 10 plus
19.
9.
Yes, 19. 19 plus 8.
8.
Yes. Like this, I will keep on doing. So until what? Until R, whenever I do this, until once R becomes 0, so this statement will become true. So I will go to stop level and I will be looping here. So the result you can see at the result, where will be the sum at the final? Which register?
Or not.
R0.
Yes, R0 or not. Okay. So I will execute this program. Just verify it. So how to execute a program? What is the first step after writing the program? What is the first step?
Debug it.
No, first you need to add here.
Add files to
Yes,
source.
yes. So right click on this source program. Okay, there is a add files to group, source group 1. So I'm pressing yes. So once I press here, so I should give the program name. So what is the program name? So you can find right. So I'm selecting .el, it will give me what, which are all ASM files. So L2. So I'm selecting L2. So I'm clicking on add and then close. So you can check here the program should be there. Fine. So once you do this, so the next step is build. Okay. So just I'll click onto the build. So this is a shortcut here. Yeah, you can go here also project. So I'm clicking here build. Yeah, displayed here. Fine. Anyone getting any errors? Answer, please answer. See, if you don't execute now, I think later it will be a problem for you. So as when I do, please parallel you also execute the program. Anyone getting errors?
No, sir.
Others? At least one error should be there. No? No one getting any error? Good.
So I'm getting
Yeah.
an error. Sir, it says
Thanks.
no compatible library exists with a definition of startup symbol.
Okay, once again. Can you share your screen? We'll see.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you can share. Jashwin Thomas, if you don't have any doubt, you can mute your mic.
Sir, my mic is muted only, sir. I didn't on it. It's not
No,
unmuted.
it's unmute.
Now it's unmute. It's
Yeah,
unmuted.
mute it. I'm saying. Yeah, mute it. Yeah. Yeah, Harshita, you just present your screen.
Yes, sir. I'm connecting my laptop.
Okay. Harshita, once you are ready, you tell me, okay?
Yes, sir.
So I hope everyone got this. We'll see Harshita later. So once you don't get any errors, you go to start debugging. So how to start execution? Go for debug and press start or stop debug session. So once you click here, okay, so a pop-up will be there. So since this is not a paid version, so we are running with a 32K memory. So press OK. So you will get this. So what are the different modes we have? Yesterday I talked about what are the different processor modes. Yeah. So these are the 7 modes we have. So one is about fast interrupt, request interrupt, fast request interrupt, supervisor, system, undefined, and user. So you can see these are the processor modes. So where we are now, we are in the super user mode. Since it is highlighted, so we are in the super user mode. So if we are in the super user mode, so these are the register visible. Okay, so these are the registers visible. Okay, so we'll start the execution. So you can see that after the start, the first we'll start with the execution from the first instruction after the start label. So what is the first instruction? Move R0 hash 10. So I'm moving the value 10 to the R0 value. Since you can see here, this is the R0 register. So currently the R0 is, what is the value of R0 now? It is 0. So once I execute this instruction, the value 10 should be stored in the register R0. Yes. So let's see. So I'm executing line by line. So step over. So I'm pressing step over. Yeah. So I'm moving the 10 to R0. Since these registers are 32-bit length, and the value shown here is hexadecimal format. So what is the corresponding value of for 10 hexadecimal value? It is A, correct? So you can see this is the content of register 10. Yes,
Yes, sir.
you understood? Yeah. Okay. So again, I'll press the next step, next line. To A. So next, what I will do, I will execute this. So what I executed, subtract R1 with what value? 1. Correct. So what will be the content of R1 now? R1 should be 9. Correct. So 9. So what should be the flag? Which flag I'm talking about now? So if I put sub yes R1 comma #1, so what should be the flag contents? Yeah. Can anyone tell what is the uh, meaning of this flags? These are flags, right? NZCV I NZCV. So these are the flags. So what do you mean by n is equal to 0?
It is not negative.
It is not a negative value. Subtracting R1 with the #1. So the result, whenever I'm subtracting the content of 1 with the R1, the value is positive. So that's why this saying n is 0. So if it is set to 1, it means that the value is negative. So when I subtract, the value will become negative. So that z is 0. What it means?
It is not zero value.
Yeah. So this is not 0. So that's why z is 0. And this is a carry bit. So it's an unsigned carry bit. So it is set to 1 because carry is there. And next, V is set to 0 because it is not overflow. And this I corresponds to interrupt request mask. So I cannot interrupt this execution if any interrupt comes. So that's why it means that. Again, this is fast interrupt request, that is also mask. And T indicates it is a which instruction set we are executing. If T is 0,
ARM instruction. ARM.
yes, yeah, ARM instructions. So and 0x13, this is hexadecimal, it means hexadecimal. So it means that we are in the supervisor mode. So that's why you can see here supervisor mode is highlighted. Okay. Okay. So what we are done. So what is the value of R1 now? So R1 means 9 because we have subtracted 1. So next we are executing compare instructions. So what is the compare instruction? So I'm bit by bit I'm comparing with the value 0. Okay. So again you can see that the Z value is 0. So Z flag is 0 because equal. If both are becomes equal, the value of Z will become 1. Yeah. So next, what I'm doing, so since this is not equal, because Z value, what is the Z value? Z value is 0. That's why I'm not going to this stop label. I'm going for the next instruction. So what is the next instruction? So I'm adding the content of R0 with R1. So content of R0 is 10, content of R1 is 9. So I'm adding and I'm putting the result in the R0. You can see after the execution. Yeah, now you can see that the content of R0 is hexa 13. So hexa 13. So what is the value? How do you convert this hexa 13 to decimal? So 1 into 16, 16 plus 3. So 16 plus 3 is 19. So 10 plus 9 is 19. So that's why the content of R0 is hexa 13. Any doubt here?
No, sir.
Fine. Up to here is fine. You didn't understood? Please answer.
Understood, sir.
Understood, sir.
Okay. So next I'm executing this BNE add in instruction. So what is NE? NE indicates if Z is 0, then I should execute this statement. Yes, check N is 0. Yes, N is 0. It is true. So I need to go for the branch. So where I need to go? I need to go for this label. So where is this label? This label is here. So once I execute this, so the execution will go to this particular line number 6. Correct? It has went. You can check here. So hello is pointing to this particular instruction. Correct? So again I will execute. So the content of R1 should be what after this statement? Yeah, content of R1. R1 should be, please answer. The content of R1 should be, so it is 9 now. So if I subtract 1, it should be 8. Yeah, see, you can see that the value is 8. So again, I'm comparing whether it is equal or not. If since it is not equal, so I will not, since it is, yeah, EQ means EQ corresponds to Z5, Z flag. So Z is 0. So that's why I'm not going to this particular stop label. So we'll go for the next instruction. So again, I will add. So this is the result. You can see the content of R0, it is changed. Then again, I will go to the this particular label. So this will happen until the value, the content of R1 becomes 0. I will show you that. Yeah. So now you can see what is the value of flag. Please answer. What is the value of flag Z here? It is 0, right? So once when this flag will be set to 1, if I execute this instruction, so if R1 value becomes 0, then this flag will be set. Agree or not?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. So this, what is the content of R1 now? So R1 is 1. So if I subtract 1 with 1, so the value will be 0. So that time this Z should be 1. You can see here, I will execute the instruction. Yeah, see now. So the value of Z becomes 1. Okay. So the value of Z becomes 1. So it means that, so this particular instruction will be executed. So I will go to this particular label. So it will come here. It will not add. So you can see here. Yeah. So it came to the stop label. So we have stopped. So it will be looping here only. Okay, yeah. So it is looping here. So we got the final result in the register R0. So what is the final value? It is hexa 37. What is hexa 37 in the decimal value? So 16 into 3 plus 7. What is the value?
55.
Yeah. So 55. You can just add 1 to 10. You will get the 55 as the decimal value. You are getting? Verify. You should get. If you are getting 55, then this program is correct. If some other value, then the result whatever we are getting is wrong. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the adding of numbers from first 10 integer. Suppose if I give, I will tell you to add like some numbers, that is say 40 to 50. So sorry, 10 numbers between 40 to 50. So what you will do, how you will modify this program? So whatever this program, it is for adding first 10 integers, correct? So if I ask,
Yes, sir.
yeah, if I ask you to add 10 integers, not first integers, between 40 to 50. So it will become 11 if I include the 0. So it will be 41 to 50. If I do this, so where exactly you need to modify the program?
Fourth line and seventh line.
Can you tell? Yeah, what
Instead
is
of
the
10,
value
it
of
should be
R0 here? It should
50.
be,
50.
yes, it should be 50. Okay, so I'm putting the value 50 to R0, R0 to R1. So each time I'm subtracting 1. So I'm subtracting yes. So what should be the value here in the line 7?
40.
Yeah, when it should stop? It should stop when it is 40. Yeah, that's are fine. So you will add 41 to 50. You can check the result. So if you're modifying anything here in the program, again you need to build the program. Okay, so then again you need to debug. Yeah, so this is the result, hexa1c7. Check for the result, verify. Yeah, Harshita, if you are getting error, you can share your screen. Harshita, still you have error?
No, sir. Got executed.
Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
For me, the target tab is only not coming in the project window, so I don't know why.
What? This.
The target is there now, sir. In the project window, you will get now. We'll click on that, then we'll.
One second. One second. So you are telling. One second. So this target you are
Yeah,
not getting.
no, sir. I'm not
Mhm.
getting in the project tab window.
So that you need to create a project, new project. So after that only you will get that.
Okay, I'll just try one second.
You can share your screen otherwise. You want to share?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, can you please repeat the steps for running the program? That's from adding the files to the source group.
Okay, how to run you are asking.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So once you create a file, okay, you will write the code. Fine. So after that, click on this source group. Okay, where this source group will be there. So you expand this target. So you will get this source group. So click on that. Right click. So you will get a add files to group. You will get. Okay.
Okay, sir.
You click on it. So you select your program. So your program is saved in .asm. So that's why you select dot file type as a .asm .ea. Then it will list what are the files are there. So you select your file, click on add, then close. So after doing this, once you expand this source group, you will get that particular program here. You are getting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the result is correct. Anyone verified? Yeah, Varun, you are there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Varun, have you executed? some network issue, I guess. Okay. You executed? Anyone getting any errors? If you are getting any errors, please let me know. Yeah, I was asking someone, no? Hmm. Yeah, Kshiti is there? Kshiti R.
Yes, sir.
Kshiti, you executed?
I'm doing it, sir.
Okay. Anyone executed wants to show the result? So once you complete the execution, so just send me the screenshot. So how you should name your program? No, just name with your USN followed by underscore followed by the lab program. So your USN is, say, suppose 1B by IS. I will take first roll number 167. This is the lab 2. So underscore 2 dot ASL. So this should be your lab the program name. Okay, so where I've done no L2.asm. So there you need to write this USN underscore your lab 2 program. So L2.asm. So execute and you send me the screenshot. So you can upload that in the Google Classroom. That screenshot. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So if you are getting any errors, I'll be here. So we can discuss. You can share your screen. We'll see. I will see that. What is the error? So this is the those are not uh, joined to the Google Classroom. So you can see this is the code, class code. Okay, I'll just paste it in the chat. Using this chat, using this code, you join. So how many have joined? 77 joined. Remaining 2 is remaining. I think diploma students, I guess. All diploma students joined. I think last number 414 and 450. I don't know whether they have joined. 415 and joined now. Okay. So check. So the remaining 2 students should join this class. Okay. And so I have Peel software I have uploaded. So I'll create assignment here. Lab 1, lab 2. Okay. So here you can paste your screenshot. So you can do first 10 integer for your practice, for your understanding. You can do between any 2 numbers. Okay. If you are done, you can go for the some modification in the program if you want. Otherwise, if this is fine, it's okay. So please upload your screenshot in this lab 2 assignment. So we'll stop recording. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can ask me.